Been a while since I've done a toy haul video, so I figured I'd just go ahead and do one. You're welcome. So yeah, usually when I do these videos, it's because I had gone out to the flea market or something over the weekend and I got really lucky and I got a whole bunch of stuff to show off. Um, Unfortunately, I haven't gotten very lucky recently. I've found things, but not like all in one trip. So I decided to do a toy haul video where I talk about stuff that I've kind of accumulated over the past couple weeks or so. So let's start off with this handsome fellow right here who's kind of out of focus. Let's fix that. There he is. Yeah, so this guy is from the RoboCop action figure line. The action figure line that was supposed to coincide with the animated series that I did a cartoon clip show about a couple years ago. Because it was supposed to tie in with, like, in the last episode they had those guys, like, they had the Hyper Police, or whatever they were called. And yeah, they made them into action figures, but unfortunately they were only featured in one episode and never went anywhere. By the way, fun little fact about that I learned, and I didn't know at the time when I did the review. There was supposed to be more episodes of the RoboCop animated series, but they decided to cut funding from that show to produce the Pride of the X-Men pilot for that X-Men cartoon they wanted to make that never happened. But it's fine because we got a much better X-Men cartoon several years later. Yeah, I found that kind of interesting because they kind of wanted to do something with RoboCop, but they decided to pull the plug on it at the last minute. Oh well. Well, we did get some toys out of it. They had, of course, RoboCop. They had Ann Lewis, Ed 209, and the police guys that they introduced in the final episode. And they also had Dr. McNamara, who was in the series, but he wasn't as proactive as some of the generic bad guys. But they did come up with a bunch of these punk characters. I don't believe they were featured in any episodes. They were probably gonna put them in future episodes, but again, the funding got cut rather. So yeah, they had I think 3 of these guys. This guy's name is Turbo, I believe. Turbo or Nitro. I think it was Nitro. I'll correct myself in the video if it's if it's wrong. Yeah, he doesn't have his weapons. Obviously, not a bad looking figure either. He got some. He's very 90s, 80s punk look. He looks like... it's been kind of a theme in my videos, or the toy videos lately, that we find characters that look like they belong in a 90s beat-em-up. I think it started with the G.I. Joe figures, because I had that Zartan from the Ninja Force, or whatever that was, where they gave him like a orange mohawk and stuff. And then I did the WCW figures, and I found the figures of the Nasty Boys, and they look like stage bosses that you'd fight in like Streets of Rage or something. And now we got these guys. I guess it was just an aesthetic at the time. Just give your guy a mohawk, make him scowl. Shirt is optional, and then give him, pants like, I suppose. And there you go. You got a beat 'em up character. Yeah. So he doesn't have weapons. Obviously, I did look up his weapons online. He had this, like, 2-handed fork thing. I have no idea what it was supposed to be used for. I assume it either shot lasers or looked so ridiculous that it made his enemies die laughing. I believe either one, to be honest. So, one interesting thing about the Robotech, I wish it was Robotech, RoboCop figures, is that they all had these backpacks on here with this switch that you flick like that. You're supposed to open it up like that. It's a little tight over the ears, and you got all this in there. You were supposed to load a ribbon of caps in there. I don't think they have those around anymore. I would love to maybe get a hold of them and probably do a review of some of the RoboCop figures. But yeah, there were these spools of paper with these little dots on them. I guess it had like a little bit of gunpowder or something. And you'd wind it up in here, and you would flick this thing here, and it would cause a loud popping noise, and it would cause some sparks. And it would be like, he's shooting his weapons, and, RoboCop had one. Even the Ed 209 figure had one. I also remember the Toy Biz Marvel's Punisher had this as well. If you recall from my Toy Biz video the Marvel Toy Biz video that I did some time ago, you probably saw it in there. But yeah, I haven't seen those things in forever. Used to be you could find them anywhere. Like you could literally, I remember seeing them in like dollar stores, and I've seen them in grocery stores that would have that aisle where they have, you know, some of the cheap toys. You usually get a pack of those there, but they're like gone. Like, I don't know. I have a feeling that they've been banned because it is the 21st century and fun is not allowed because of the children or something like that. I don't know. They're probably still, you probably still get them somewhere, but I've just not seen them like I used to. But anyway, yeah, not a bad figure. I'm gonna go ahead and pause on this for a minute because I think I need more thumbnails with funny faces in it, because I not to get off topic, but one of the most popular videos I've ever done, not just with toys or anything like that, just one of the most popular videos I've ever done was the Madballs figures. And I think it's because I had a really close-up shot of the Screaming Mimi ball, and I know that thumbnails with faces on them, like weird faces, kind of do well on YouTube, and I kind of don't do that in my videos. I should probably do something about that. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give this this handsome guy's face a nice close-up and make him my thumbnail, because I need views, damn it. Oh gosh. Anyway, oh, I just noticed something. Poor guy has Youngblood's disease. All right, well, you go there. I'm gonna put you off to the side right there, and he will look really out of place compared to all the rest of the things that I got from the flea market, because everything else I'm about to show you is Disney related, specifically Disney Afternoon related. So I found this at the flea market. There's little PVC figures of Disney Afternoon characters. Let me hold that right so there's no glare. Well, I guess it's impossible for me to do that. All right, like this. Yeah, so these were figures distributed by Kellogg's. You can get a bunch of figures in Kellogg's cereals. I remember having a couple of these. I don't know what happened to them. But I've never seen a 4-pack like this before. I assume this was maybe a mail away, or maybe they just stuck it right into the box of cereal. I'm not really sure. What's weird is because I've had the Scrooge McDuck one. I remember having that, but I've never seen this. So I don't know. But anyway, in this pack you get Baloo from Tailspin, which is my favorite of the Disney Afternoon cartoons. You get Tummy from the Gummy Bears. You got Dale from Chip 'n Dale's Rescue Rangers, and you got Uncle Scrooge from DuckTales. Really cool. And on the back you can see all the other ones you get. I assume some of these came. I actually looked online. I haven't even seen any other blister pack ones, but I know you can get a lot of these individually. See, we got the DuckTales. DuckTales one's interesting because you only get Louie, not Huey and Dewey. Instead, you get Webigail, everyone's favorite. But what's cool is you get Gizmo Duck. I would actually love to get a hold of Gizmo Duck. I actually want to find the rest of these, because I have looked on eBay, and they're not too difficult to get a hold of. And heck, I found this for $1 at a flea market, so there you go. One interesting thing about these that I've noticed is they're very thin. Look at that. They're like flat. You can see on the top there, I think a little bit better. Yeah, I assume that's just to, conserve space when you put them in the cereal box, but it's just very strange to me seeing characters like Baloo and Tummy, who are kind of chubby, just look like they've been flattened by some kind of machinery. Boy. So yeah, I found these. Let me see if I can position this so it's not glaring. And good enough. So I found those, and what was cool is at the flea market I actually found someone who was selling individual ones. So I also have Gadget from Chip 'n Dale's Rescue Rangers, really cool. I think I actually used to have this one when I was a kid, and unfortunately she got lost. Very good condition too, no paint marks. I think her nose might be a little scuffed on her nose. Let me focus, get a good look. Yeah, a little. You can't really see it through the camera. Also, a little paint error there. Also, with this one, you can kind of see how thin these characters were. Found that kind of unusual. I do like these though. They're very well made. Gadget does have a little bit of a problem standing up, but there you go. I also found Sunny from the Gummy Bears. Gummy Bears is such an underrated show, and that's not to say people don't like it. It's just that when you talk about Disney Afternoon, people don't usually bring it up, and I'm not really sure why. Because it was one of the best. In fact, it was one of the first. It might have been the first, if I remember correctly. I'm not sure what year it came out, but one of, if not the first. But yeah, I love Gummy Bears. It's a fun show. Very nice figure. Looks just like the character from the show. Aside from the hue of her skin or fur or whatever, I remember her being much more yellow in the show. What's funny is I keep looking at this figure and thinking that she glows in the dark, because it kind of looks like that kind of washed out yellowish plastic that you see a lot of toys made with that glow in the dark. But I've tried to look at her in the dark, but she doesn't glow, and it wouldn't even make any sense because that's not even something that she did. But she's all right. She's actually in a little bit better condition than Gadget. Very, very cool figures. If you're a fan of Disney Afternoon, I highly recommend checking out eBay, see if you can get some of those. And they're pretty cheap too. I mean, I got this whole pack for $1. You'd probably find them a little more expensive on eBay. But these two actually were $1 each at the flea market, which, considering this 4-pack was $1, I kind of got ripped off with these two. Oh well. Maybe I'll try and track down the rest of them, because I do like these figures. So that's those right there. Now you'll notice that you had Tailspin, Gummy Bears, Chippendales Rescue Rangers, and DuckTales. I believe they also had Goof Troop ones. They might have had some for other ones. But, it seems like there's a major player of Disney Afternoon missing from this set. And it's cool because I actually have someone from one of the other shows. And here he is! Darkwing Duck! When there's trouble, you call DW. Yeah, I found a Darkwing Duck at a Salvation Army. Let me see if I can zoom out just a little bit so we can get him better in the shot. There we go. That's pretty good. Yeah, so there. Oh, Sunny fell over. There we go. Let's move you a little bit closer to creepy RoboCop guy. I'm sure that's fine. Anyway, for those of you who are a fan of Andre, a Black Nerd Comedy, probably recognize this. He has a boxed version that he has in the back of his set, and I always thought that was really cool. I've actually never seen it before, but I just happened to wander into a Salvation Army one day, and I dug this guy out of a shelf of toys. I'm very impressed that he actually had his hat with him. I was because he didn't have it when I first pulled him out, so I had to frantically go looking for it, and there it was, thankfully. Really cool figure, nice, big and bulky, looks just like the character. Was kind of disappointed that he doesn't come with his gas gun, because if you notice his hands here, they kind of look like they were made to hold something. But I checked on eBay, I checked the boxed versions of the figures that I found, and they just didn't come with a gun, which is kind of disappointing. Is it just looks like he should be holding something right here, look right there. Instead his hands look like they look like he looks like he's about to drop some sick rhymes or something. He's like, yeah, boy. No, actually, you know what he looks like? You ever for those of you who played Pokemon Sun and Moon, he kind of looks like Team Skull, just doing their gang pose or whatever it is that they do with their stupid gimmick. Oh boy. Again, really nice figure. Limited articulation. Got a removable hat. Got a nice cloth cape there. Funny story about this guy though. And I do have to gush about this because I was kind of proud of it. When I found this guy, when I pulled him out of that shelf of toys, he was filthy. Like he was just covered in a film of something. It was disgusting. So I kind of just, when I picked him out of the shelf, I just kind of grabbed him with 2 fingers. I brought him up to the front. I had the guy put him in a bag for me, and I had to take him home, and I had to clean him. And never before, with all my years of salvaging toys from flea markets and thrift stores, have I ever had to put on rubber gloves to clean a character, because I had no idea what that stuff was. It looked like he had been dropped into like a bucket of soup and then left to dry out in the rain or something, or dry out in the sun rather. It was disgusting. I should have like scraped some off and sent it to a lab to be analyzed. I'm genuinely curious what all that stuff on him was. I wish I had kept pictures of it, but I was too skeeved out by it. So I wanted to get him cleaned up as quickly as possible. But yeah, I did. As you can see here, you can barely tell that he was ever dirty. I got out the Windex, and I got out all like paper towels, and I went into all the little crevices there. I tried to get all of it out as much as I can. I think you can still see a little bit of like stain on the hat there, but that's fine. Yeah, and then I gave him a nice alcohol bath just to sterilize him, because God knows where he's been. I don't even want to know what that was all about. Oh boy. So yeah, that was my haul for the past couple of weeks. I got me a pretty cool Darkwing Duck. I got some cool Disney Afternoon stuff. I even got a fun little I said it again. God damn it. I even got a fun little RoboCop guy that I can add to the collection. I'm slowly kind of amassing RoboCop figures. Why do I keep saying I got Robotech on the mind? I don't know why. Maybe I should go watch it. But yeah, that's my haul for this week. I'll be back with some more videos on cartoons and toys. And there's Gadget falling because she has trouble standing up. Let's get her stay. Okay, let's get a nice little image here. Even things out. There we go. Get all these guys in the shot. So yeah, that was my haul. I'm going to try and do some more from the Toy Bin videos soon. Again, I'm still waiting for stuff on eBay. I'm still waiting to find things, and I'm still waiting to get a few things in the mail. So it's been kind of holding me back a bit. But don't worry, I got some plans for the future. So I'll see you guys later.